Hello, and welcome to the Roundup, to the Banker's View from Sibos video series 2019. I'm Joy Macknight, Managing Editor at The Banker, and with me is Brian Caplen, Editor of The Banker, to talk about the hot topics this time round. Brian, thanks so much for joining me today. So what would you say are the top three themes that you've sort of picked up from the conference floor?
Well, first of all, let me say it's been very exciting to have Sibos in London. Of course, the Banker's home, and we've really enjoyed having everybody here, and it's given it a bit of a new flavour, I guess. There's been lots of exciting themes. I think the first one for me has been, of course, it's not entirely new, but a renewed discussion about open banking. And on the one hand, people have been saying, well, the banks haven't really taken advantage of it yet. They've just ticked the boxes, they've done the compliance, but they haven't really seen the full potential. But around that, a lot of discussion about where open banking goes, and does it go to the whole sort of ecosystem model, looking at the big tech platforms for inspiration, working with them, and basically, opening up, not just having banking services on your platform, but all kinds of buy-sell arrangements. I think that's very exciting. The second thing I've found interesting is, obviously we've always talked in banking about core banking systems. Big banks have them, they're legacy, and they can't sort of really get rid of them. But we're starting to see so many technology ventures which are outside the core banking system, putting things in the cloud, having sort of plug and play modules. And I can see a day where basically the banking technology moves from core banking to a different kind of system. I can see us on the way to that, so a sort of coreless banking. Which I think is quite exciting.
And like a lot more around modules and, again, like just eating away at each part of the core banking system.
That's right. And then finally, I have to say, a lot of discussions about the very uncertain political and economic outlook, illustrated by what's been going on in the UK this week with more machinations over Brexit. But of course, on a wider scale, lots of similar things happening in other countries, the US-China trade dispute going on, and the whole problems of a shift in the sort of technological basis of society and what it's doing to people, and the kinds of populist pressures and inequalities that it's thrown out, which of course affects everybody. So those were my takes. What about you? What did you find interesting about the conference?
Obviously there's more than 11,000 attendees, so it was also the biggest Sibos ever. I think that a lot of the themes were continuations on themes we've seen in previous years. So one is around the digital transformation. That's continuing on, I think, and it comes back to your point around the core banking and that total refresh there. The other one was around innovation. So again, emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud and blockchain.
A bit of a revival with blockchain.
Yeah.
Did you pick that up?
Yeah, I thought so as well. And I think it's because it's moved into real practical applications. And the last one was really around collaboration. So again, there was like a big fintech presence here in London.
Okay, and you chaired a panel with a couple of fintechs, a couple of banks. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was really highlighting how that move away from the competition and into more to collaboration, and how these two, like bank and fintech partnerships, were actually really working and really delivering on value to the clients and things, but also some of the challenges that still exist with working with, from the fintech perspective, working with the big banks, from the big banks' perspective, working with very small fintech companies. So I thought that was very interesting.
Okay, well, it's been a fantastic week. We at the Banker have been working hard to present the View From series, and we'll be back next year at Boston to do exactly the same thing.